to orders, creating POs for non-stock items, creating POs for stock items. Okay. The first scenario that I'm going to go through is just creating a PO for a stock item. So you're not necessarily buying the material for a particular order. You're just buying the material to replenish inventory because you might be low. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to start out by doing is I'm going to click on New, Purchase Order at the very top. Okay. If I know my vendor's name, I'll go ahead and enter in their name. I think I have a vendor called Southern Sign Company. Okay, so whenever, I'm sorry, Southern Sign Supply. So once I enter in my vendor name, the flag on that vendor record is going to pop up. I'll just click OK here. This is just additional information. I'm going to click OK here. Okay, now over to the left, the very first thing that it's asking me for is what type of item am I ordering? Okay, in this particular scenario, let's order 10 sheets of acrylic. Okay, so actually, 10 sheets of acrylic. So my drop down here, I'm going to go to, if I know that I ordered this part, or if I think I ordered this part, the 10 sheets of acrylic from this particular vendor, I'll click on Catalog Item. And a catalog item is a part that we've linked to a vendor. So if we always order this particular part from this vendor, you can create that link. And what will happen is whenever you come to your PO, look how much shorter your material list is compared to whenever I select item type of part. Whenever I select part, that's going to show me every single part in the system. So all of your electrical parts, all of your composition sign parts, any type of part that you have in the system. Okay, so I always start out by selecting my catalog item just because I only want to see the items that I purchased from Southern Sign Supply. We'll go ahead and go with the 1/8 inch acrylic. Okay, once we select our part, our description name drops in. If we need to go in and override that, we can. Our expense account is going to automatically be pulled in. At this point, because we're working on POs, expense accounts, it really doesn't matter what we have here because a PO does not have any effect on your general ledger. Okay, so our quantity, we said we were going to order 10 sheets. Okay, now if I have the accounting module, once I create a bill from this PO, the amount that I bill is going to populate in this quantity build. Okay, whenever I receive either the full 10 sheets or partial shipment, I am going to, this number right here is going to change. And then let's say I received 6, this number will be 6 is received, and then quantity remaining will be 4. Okay, I purchased this in units of sheets. Each sheet from this particular supplier cost me $75. My total cost is $750. If this particular vendor had a SKU, that information would show up here. Okay. If you're using warehouses, you can specify which warehouse you're purchasing this for. In this particular example, I'm not going to. All the way to the right-hand side, this is where I would specify if I were purchasing this acrylic material for a specific job, this is where I'd enter in the order number. But because I'm not purchasing it for a job, I'm just purchasing it to replenish stock, I'm not going to enter an order number there. Okay. My payable to information at the bottom, shipping address, this is just my location. If I wanted to say they could ship it to the location in Baton Rouge, I can do that. Or I'll just put this one here. Payment terms, net 30, this is going to default from whoever your vendor is. You can change that on your vendor record. Shipping method, this is basically how I want them to ship it to me. I can just enter in best way. That way they can decide however to ship it. If I have any notes, I would enter that here. Typically, the reference number field is used whenever you get a bill from your vendor. That bill is going to have an invoice number on it. So typically what the accountants do is they come back into the PO and they'll enter in the bill here, the vendor's bill number here. Okay. If I know what my taxes are going to be, I can enter that. I'm just going to pretend that I don't have any taxes. On my vendors tab, this is pretty much just making sure I have the correct contact. This is being sent to Sandra. On my totals notes tab, when am I expecting this, or this is kind of the due date for the shipment to arrive. Let's say I ordered it today and I'm expecting it to come in on the 27th. My expected payment method is going to be by check. You can just overlook your totals here. Purchase order notes. These notes, purchase order notes show on the PO report. Okay. Internal use only notes do not show. Okay, so those notes do not show. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Okay, and we will, the next thing that we can do is, notice that I saved it in the requested status. So if now I've ordered it, I've actually called Sandra at Southern Sign Supply and I've placed my order, or I've emailed over or faxed over my PO, I'm going to change the status to ordered. Okay, my vendor notes are going to pop up. Okay, now if you have the accounting module from this step, whenever you go to receive those goods, what you would want to do is convert to receiving document. Okay, if you don't have the accounting module, you won't be able to convert. So if you don't have the accounting module, what you would want to do here is one of two things. The first thing is, if you've received all 10 sheets at one time, you can go down to the bottom and click on Change Status and mark it received. By marking it received, you're going to increase the number of sheets by 10. Okay, that's easy enough. Now, let's say they shipped us 8 sheets and 2 sheets are on back order. Okay, what I need to do, this is if I have the accounting module, what I would do is I would create a receiving document for 8 sheets. But since I don't, I'm going to pretend, because the majority of our customers don't have the accounting module, that's the route I'm going to take with this training call. So I'm going to edit this particular line item. Okay, I'm going to clone the first line item. I'm going to say that I received 8. I have 2 remaining. And then for my status, I'm going to change this to received, and then this one to back ordered. And then I'm going to save this. Okay, that's it. That's how I receive a partial shipment. Okay, that's one scenario. This is the scenario for ordering material that is for stock, not necessarily for an order. Okay, that's example number 1. Example number 2 is we're going to order material specifically for one job. Okay, so in this particular example, if I open up this order, I just opened up an order that we had already created. This job, I'm going to order my Coroplast. So control is telling me that I need 1 sheet of Coroplast. Let's say I'll order 2 sheets just in case 1 sheet gets messed up. Okay, so my Coroplast here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to New Purchase Order. Okay, now there's 2 ways to go about doing this, and I'll show you both ways. One way is what someone would do is they would click on this option right here that says Copy from Order Estimate. Okay, they'll put in their order number, click the Tab key, and they'll say, these are all of the material parts for that job. My Coroplast is what I want to order, so I'll click the little Add button here, and then I'll click OK. Now it's telling me, because I did not enter a vendor to begin with, it's saying, vendor, Southern Sign Supply supplies this part. Do you wish to use this vendor for this purchase order? I'm going to click yes. Those are my vendor flags again. So Southern Sign Supply is up here. It's a catalog item. So basically it filled everything in for me. I think I told you that I was going to, let's see, I thought I said I needed 1 sheet. I actually need 10 sheets for this job. Sorry about that. So 10 sheets for this job. So I'm ordering 10 sheets. Unit cost comes from the vendor. Now the main difference is whenever I scroll over to the right-hand side, I am now linking this purchase order to my order 1086. Okay? Now, what that means is that the cost from purchase order, whatever this new purchase order is, I'm not sure yet, whenever we save this, those costs are going to transfer over to my order. Okay? Now, since I have the purchase order linked to the part that's on the order, it's going to replace the cost. So if I look at my order right now and I go to my parts tab, notice my cost is $550. Okay? Let's say I want to go ahead and order one extra sheet just in case we mess up on a sheet. We don't want to be minus a sheet, so I'll change this to 11 sheets, and my cost is $494.45. Now, because I am linked to the part on my order, whenever I save this, actually I'm going to mark it as ordered, and I'll save it. Okay? Whenever I go to my order, notice I now have an estimated usage of 11 sheets, and my estimated cost is $494.45. Okay, so all that we've done by entering in the information over to the right-hand side, this information is I'm transferring my cost from my purchase order to my order. Okay, now if you're using cost plus pricing and our cost would have increased, let's say we needed 10 sheets for this job, but we want to go ahead and order 15 sheets. Okay. The one thing that you would not want to do here is you would not want, if you ordered 10 sheets for this job, but you ordered an extra 5 because you use this material a lot and you want to just put the additional 5 in stock. One thing that you would not want to do is change your ordered quantity to 15, because by doing that, you're essentially putting this cost on job number 1086. Which is going to increase your cost. If you're using cost plus pricing, it's also going to increase your price. You probably don't want that. Okay? So the correct way to order 15 sheets is to link the 10 sheets that you're going to use for this job to the job, and then we'll clone this line item, order 5 items, and remove it from this order. Okay? Okay? So now we're ordering a total of 15. 5 is going to be linked to my order 1086. I'm sorry, 10 is going to be linked to order 1086. 5 is just going to increase my inventory and have no effect on my order. Now, one of the benefits of linking a purchase order to an order, okay, is if I go and I run my WIP report, I'll do a WIP by order station. I'm not sure how much. Notice this option right here that says Show PO Information. Okay. So 86, sorry. There we go. Okay, so here's my order, 1086. And it's showing me the purchase order that's linked to this order. So if you use your WIP report, typically what will happen is someone will come in the morning, they'll print out the WIP report. What this is telling them is anybody in production that looks at this, they basically know that they probably cannot start on this job because they've ordered 10 sheets of material, and it's not going to come in until, I thought I changed it to the 27th, maybe I didn't, to the 22nd at whatever time. Okay, so if that expected date was the 27th, they know that they probably can't start working on this information, on this job, because for one, the status is ordered, we haven't received the goods, and it's not expected for another 5 days. Okay, so that's the benefit, or one benefit of linking a PO to an order. You can see it on your WIP report. The other benefit is that the cost from the PO gets transferred over to the order. Okay, so we talked about 2 scenarios. We talked about, the first one was how to create a PO for stock items. Okay, we've now just talked about how to create a PO for a stock or a inventoried item that's on a job. Now what we need to do is we need to talk about creating a PO for an item that you need to order. Okay, that you're going to order. So let's say you are ordering Gemini letters. A customer comes in and they want 11-inch gold Gemini letters that say happy birthday, okay, or maybe welcome, whatever the phrase is. Happy birthday, 11-inch gold letters, okay. Whenever I create my order, let's first create the order for this. I'm going to, I'm just going to pull in a company. ABC Company Works. Okay, I'm going to come down to my miscellaneous product. I'm going to go to, now really here you could use outsource or miscellaneous. Outsource would probably, since you're reselling it, you can either use outsource or miscellaneous. For some reason I always come to miscellaneous whenever I do this type of stuff, so that's why I chose this particular product. So I'm ordering 11-inch gold letters, okay, and let's say I'm doing the word welcome. I need 7 of them. Each of them is going to cost me $8.97. My markup is going to be 1.75, okay. So this cost right here is basically what I got out of the Gemini catalog. Gemini said 11-inch gold letters, $8.97 a piece. Okay, 11-inch gold welcome. Oops, I put 11 feet. 11-inch gold. Okay, any other information you need to put, you can do that. Let's just say this is all that we're creating for our customer. I'm going to go ahead and save this as an order. No, I don't want to post a deposit. So my order number is 1088. Okay, so now I need to go and create a PO for this order because I actually want to purchase this. So I'm going to go New, Purchase Order. Okay, there are 2 ways to do this. I will show you both ways. This is the way that I recommend whenever you're using a miscellaneous item. Okay, I doubt Gemini is my vendor. No. So I'm just going to select a vendor that I have. We'll use Test Company too. Yes. Order, and you click on Copy from Order Estimate. I'm going to type in my order number. Okay, here are my 7 miscellaneous goods. Click OK here. Okay, now what I want to type in here is my 11-inch gold letters, and I did feet one more time. 11-inch gold letters. Welcome. Okay. Miscellaneous account, 7 of them each. They told me my unit cost was going to be $8.97, so my total cost is $62.79. The main thing is that it's linked to my order and it's linked to the correct part here, the miscellaneous goods part. Okay? So if whenever I go to order them, they tell me, whoever the lady is at the Gemini, she tells me your catalog that you have is outdated and these letters actually now cost $9.02. Okay? So I'm going to put 902 here and I'm going to save. Do you want to send an email to the new salesperson? This is probably a macro that we have, so you guys wouldn't see this. Okay, so 902. So I'll go back to my order. I'm going to edit this. Okay, now my PO is linked to my, so I need to order my ordered. Okay, so now it's ordered. I go back to my order, and now I have my updated price. Okay, okay. So whenever I edit this, if I need to go in here and change my unit cost or whatever it is, that's fine. So we'll just cancel this. So it's now linked to the order. So this is the first way to create a PO for a miscellaneous item. Okay. The second way, and I prefer to show people and to teach people the method that I just used because it's kind of the foolproof method, whereas the next method that I'm going to show you, unless you're really conscious and you know what part you need to link it to here, it's possible that you'll double up on your cost. Okay? So I would think that this method that I showed you, the copy all line items, is the best way to go. Second way you can do this is if we do new purchase order, okay, and we'll put in our test company again. We'll enter in, okay, so this is where most people get mixed up because they want to go down here and they want to go other material or other item. Let's do other material, okay? And we'll say that we need 11-inch gold letters, okay? And letters are going to say welcome. 7 of those. They're going to be $9.02 a piece. Oops. $9.02 a piece. Okay. Now, I want to link this to my order. So I'm going to come in here and type in 1088. It's going to be, and the red just means it's overwritten. It's going to be line item number 1. Okay. Now notice, whenever I select other material, I cannot choose the part in which I want to link the cost to. So we're going to order this like we normally would. We're going to order it. And now I want to go take a look at the order. Okay. Notice that this right here is linked to a part called Other Material. Whenever I go to my order, 1088, I now have 2 parts on there, Other Material. And if I scroll to the right, actually, let me add this. It's a column chooser. The column chooser, the one that says Purchase Orders, that option will tell you which PO an item is linked to. So if I scroll over to the right, this is telling me that this part right here is linked to purchase order 1013, and this part is linked to purchase order 1014. Okay? So now, because I've used the other material, what I've essentially done is doubled up on my cost. And that's the reason why I don't like using this other method. Now, to correct this, what we need to do is we need to edit this. I don't like using this other method. Now, to correct this, what we need to do is we need to edit this. We need to not use the other type. We need to go to part, and we need to use miscellaneous goods. Oh, I need 7 of these suckers. Okay. Go over to the right-hand side. Now what I can do is I can override this and change it to link. So it's just saying this line item is currently attached to order item 1088, line item 1. Detaching this line item will remove the cost from the order item. Are you sure you want to detach the part? Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. Okay. So it's telling me there's already another PO linked to it. Typically what would happen is, let me edit this and remove it from this order. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to link it to okay, it's not, it's still seeing my order 1013, PO 1013 is being linked to it, so it's not going to let me. Typically what would happen is if you select this right here, whenever you go to your order, the bottom line item is going to be removed so you don't double up on your cost.